107. I always want to think of myself as an underdog. Donald Trump. 108. I think the big problem this country has is being politically correct. I've been challenged by so many people, and I don't frankly have time for total political correctness. And to be honest with you, this country doesn't have time either. Donald Trump. 109. I wouldn't mind a little bow. In Japan, they bow. I love it. Only thing I love about Japan. Donald Trump. 110. Today, and I'm very strongly against tax increases. Donald Trump. 111. We have to go see Bill Gates and a lot of different people that really understand what's happening. We have to talk to them mainly in certain areas. Closing that internet up in some way. Somebody will say, oh, freedom of speech. Freedom of speech. These are foolish people. We have a lot of foolish people. Donald Trump. 112. I'm the #1 developer in New York. I'm the biggest in Atlantic City, and maybe we'll keep it that way. Donald Trump. 113. We will follow 2 simple rules. Buy American and hire American. Donald Trump. 114. I'm the Ernest Hemingway of 140 characters. Donald Trump. 115. I think Ronald Reagan was one of the great presidents, period, not just recently. I thought he had the demeanor. I thought he had the bearing. I thought he had the thought process. Donald Trump. 116. We will no longer surrender this country or its people to the false song of globalism. Donald Trump. 117. It's not like I'm anti-China. I just think it's ridiculous that we allow them to do what they're doing to this country, with the manipulation of the currency, that you write about and understand, and all of the other things that they do. Donald Trump. 118. I think the World Trade Center should be rebuilt as the World Trade Center, only stronger and 1 story taller. I hate what they're doing with the World Trade Center site. Donald Trump. 119. The problems we face now, poverty and violence at home, war and destruction abroad, will last only as long as we continue relying on the same politicians who created them in the first place. Donald Trump. 120. The Hillary Clinton foreign policy has cost America thousands of lives and trillions of dollars and unleashed ISIS across the world. No Secretary of State has been more wrong, more often, and in more places than Hillary Clinton. Donald Trump. 121. I have had lobbyists, and I have had some very good ones. They could do anything. Donald Trump. 122. In 2009, pre-Hillary, ISIS was not even on the map. Libya was stable. Egypt was peaceful. Iraq was seeing a really big reduction in violence. Iran was being choked by sanctions. Syria was somewhat under control. Donald Trump. 123. Obama and his attack dogs have nothing but hate and anger in their hearts and spew it whenever possible. Donald Trump. 124. Well, real estate is always good, as far as I'm concerned. Donald Trump. 125. I grew up in New York City, a town with different races, religions, and peoples. It breeds tolerance. Donald Trump. 126. The Pope, I hope, can only be scared by God. Donald Trump. 127. Iran is not getting rid of any of its nuclear plants. They're not getting rid of anything. Donald Trump. 128. I want to lower taxes for the middle class. Donald Trump. 129. I've always felt comfortable in front of a camera. Either you're good at it or you're not good at it. Donald Trump. 130. So many people are on television that don't know me, and they're like experts on me. Donald Trump. 131. Give to everybody. When they call, I give. And do you know what? When I need something from them 2 years later, 3 years later, I call them. They are there for me. Donald Trump. 132. Everybody has their detractors. Some people say arrogance, or whatever they may say. I only have one thing in mind, and that's doing a great job for the country. Donald Trump. 133. People are so shocked when they find out I am Protestant, I am Presbyterian, and I go to church, and I love God, and I love my church. Donald Trump. 134. I've met some great people that deal with me in the press. I've also met some people that were very dishonorable, frankly. Donald Trump. 135. I had great relationship with the Hispanic. We had a lot of Hispanics in the school. Actually, from different countries, Venezuela, from Brazil, and they all played soccer, and I was on the soccer team, and I developed great relationships with them. Donald Trump, 136. Remember, many Republicans didn't vote for Mitt Romney. He didn't inspire people. Donald Trump, 137. I think George Will is somebody that said recently that the Republicans will not lose. As a Republican, that the Republicans will not win the election. I think it was a terrible statement. Donald Trump, 138. The Arab League tells us to go in and take out Gaddafi. We've spent billions of dollars already with respect to the Arab League. Billions of dollars because they told us to do it. Why aren't they paying for it? They don't like Gaddafi. Gaddafi's been a terrible thorn in their side. Donald Trump, 139. I went to the Wharton School of Finance, the toughest place to get into. I was a great student. Donald Trump, 140. I have used the laws of this country just like the greatest people that you read about every day in business have used the laws of this country, the chapter laws, to do a great job for my company, for myself, for my employees, for my family, etc. One for one. In real life, if I were firing you, I'd tell you what a great job you did, how fantastic you are, and how you can do better someplace else. If somebody steals, that's different, but generally speaking, 1 for 2. In America, we understand that a nation is only living as long as it is striving. Donald Trump, 143. You don't get a standing ovation and get boos, by the way. They don't go hand in hand. Donald Trump, 144. I do have my ducks in line if I want to do it, but I'd love to see the Republicans pick somebody that was going to win and take over this country, and frankly, to use the expression, make America great again. Donald Trump, 145. Every day, I wake up determined to deliver a better life for the people all across this nation that have been neglected, ignored, and abandoned. I have visited the laid-off factory workers and the communities crushed by our horrible and unfair trade deals. These are the forgotten men and women of our country. Donald Trump, 146. We will build new roads and highways and bridges and airports and tunnels and railways all across our wonderful nation. Donald Trump, 147. 40 Wall Street is probably the most beautiful tower in New York. Donald Trump, 148. The pact we have with Japan is interesting, because if somebody attacks us, Japan does not have to help. If somebody attacks Japan, we have to help Japan. Donald Trump, 149. My father was very energetic. My mother was very energetic. He lived to a very old age, and so did my mother. I believe that I just have it from my father, from my parents. They had wonderful energy. Donald Trump, 150. Owning great landmarks such as the Empire State Building or Trump Tower, or the General Motors Building or the Plaza Hotel, there are certain just spectacular landmarks. It's an honor. It's really an honor. Donald Trump, 151. Somebody made the statement that Donald Trump has built or owns the greatest collection of golf courses ever in the history of golf, and I believe that is 100% true. Donald Trump, 152. So Bush certainly wasn't the greatest, and Obama has not done the job, and he's created a lot of disincentive. He's created a lot of great dissatisfaction. Regulations and regulatory is going through the roof. It's almost impossible to get anything done in the country. Donald Trump, 153. There's always opposition when you do something big. I do many things that are controversial. When people see it, they love it. Donald Trump, 154. I've got the hottest brand in the world. Donald Trump, 155. A lot of people don't like to win. They actually don't know how to win. And they don't like to win because down deep inside, they don't want to win. Donald Trump, 156. I rely on myself very much. I just think that you have an instinct and you go with it, especially when it comes to deal making and buying things. Donald Trump, 157. You know that ISIS wants to go in and take over the Vatican? You have heard that. You know, that's a dream of theirs, to go into Italy. Donald Trump, 158. A lot of people feel very good about Mitt Romney, and I think he's going to do a great job. Donald Trump, 159. I've been dealing with politicians all my life. All my life. and I've always gotten them to do what I need them to do. Donald Trump.